Sup, YouTube? This is Big D and Shade.
Yo.
And welcome to Takoyaki Bites. This is where we're going to give our opinions on one show this season. And
Give you some bite-sized information on what we think of different shows that we are watching throughout the season. Well, speaking of shows to love, I have to say this is my number one of the season, which would be Overlord.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is just amazing. I cannot wait to see episodes date. You just every time I'm finished, I'm like, more, give me more. Because it's just so interesting and so, and it's what I said before in the their preseason thoughts about it. I was hoping they were going to do, and they're doing, and I'm really liking, which is the reverse roles. The bad guy's the good guy, and the good guy's the bad guy. At least that's what I'm seeing so far. And it's really freaking cool. Because when you have a bad guy who's a good guy, there's no limit.
Yeah.
They're not constrained by the moral stipulations that a lot of the good guys are. And I just will say that the very first actual factual battle situation proved that to me all the more. And the way this dude just slings around his power, I'm like, okay, you are a badass among badasses. You really are. I mean, he saves those two girls, and just the casual way he's like, I'm going to cast this shield over you. I'm going to cast this other shield over you, and then I'm going to hand you two horns that if you blow on them, you get a goblin army at your beck and call. And I'm like, really? just that? That's all? Okay. But then the fact that he creates a death knight and is like, yeah, those dudes in armor, why don't you go kill them? Go have fun. Bye. And it's like, and then he shows up, and I swear it's like you don't see him at first, but I'm like, he was probably up there kind of watching things go for a little while before he actually stopped that thing from doing what it was doing, which it was killing people a lot. And I mean, like, it was like it chopped off some people's heads or split them in half, and I'm like, okay, that's some badassery right there. And it really was. I mean, it was just the way it handled, the way it moved, the way it, the different abilities and everything like that. And all the while, I do, and some people would probably say that they don't enjoy it, but I do enjoy the cutaway from, like, he's this, like, emotionless killing machine and throwing around this massive power like it's nothing. And then every now and then you get his internal mind saying just, what he's really thinking or feeling, or how he's nervous about talking to people and trying to make sure they see him as the supreme overlord that he is, without seeming silly or foolish or whatever. And his minions, those that are with him, and the people that that are under him, I'm like, I love the fact that they're all very unique in their own way. And I know it's probably not one of your most favorite things, but I do enjoy, and usually this is not necessarily one of my favorite things too, but I do enjoy the little love interactions with, because they do tend to go a little overboard on some of that just a bit, referring to like when they had when they all got together for the first time, and then he goes away, and the vampire girl's like, oh, I'm wet, and I'm like, oh, good Lord. I mean, okay, but good Lord. And the minute she said that, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, yep. Because then there's the other girl there going, all of a sudden just filled with anger, and I'm like, yep, I knew that was gonna happen. Mm-hmm. So, but yes, really enjoying it. And I mean, and just like we were saying with Gate before, is the human aspect of it in that sense too, because also like when the whole battle situation ended and they were burying their dead or whatever, and he's looking at him going, he's off to one side and he's like, I have a wand that I could use to resurrect.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to use it, and I could feel for him in that sense. I knew he wanted to use it because he wanted to help people in that sense. But at the same time, I mean, one, if he resurrected them, one, he didn't know necessarily how well the magic was going to work. And then two, even if it did work, I mean, would the people accept them because they knew they were dead and all of a sudden they're back living or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, eh.
And also, if they do accept it, then they're like, oh, well, somebody died like 2 years ago. Can you revive them?
Yeah, and then it's like everyone has an issue or problem, and then all of a sudden they start coming to him and expecting him to perform miracles and stuff like that. Not to say that he couldn't, but, he does have other things he probably wants to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
yes.
So,
Your thoughts? Sorry,
I
I'll place that.
don't know. I could easily tell that you would love this one.
Oh, yeah.
Because the main character is that really smart, calculated type of character, like Shiro from Log Horizon and the guy from No Game No Life.
Oh yeah.
So I get it's when I was watching it and seeing that type of character, I'm like, yeah, Shay's gonna like this guy. So as far as how the show's going, like character style and everything. I do like that girl. She's cool, but a little crazy.
I like that. I mean, but there's that underlying the underlying things going on in the background that you're kind of seeing too, and I'm guessing you're about to hit on that.
Yeah. Well, with all the other minions, I feel like yes, too many minions.
Oh, that's why I didn't think you were gonna go that way. But okay, yeah, he does, I guess. But at the same time, that would kind of lead to the fact that he is, in that sense, Overlord.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, he has to. I mean, if he had too few minions, then it would be like, well, so much for a great, powerful Overlord,
Yeah.
or whatnot. But I mean, at the same time, it's not necessarily like he's using the minions, though.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, he's kind of like, can y'all go away and give me some space? I mean, I can handle this on my own. Trust me, I got it. And they're all like, no, we have to be there for you and protect you. He's like, please, give me some space, please.
They love him so much.
What?
His minions love him so much.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, like, what was it? The vampire dude and that bug dude. And when they were all and stuff with the two girls, and he's like, that'd be kind of ill. The vampire's like, that'd be kind of interesting if he did pick one of them, because then we could have another, like he'd have a kid, and then we can be loyal to him too. And then the bug dude was kind of confused at first, but then after a while he realized, and he's like, oh, that would be so amazing. Oh my God. Yes.
And he went off on a little tangent on his own with that. And I'm like, wow. You guys really like him.
But,
and it's like, I know part of that's programmed in, but at the same time, it's not all programmed in. That is literally, they really like him. So
I'm curious about the world, like comparing the two fantasy shows that are out, like Gate and this one.
I see a similarity, and this is where I thought you were about to go with, as far as before you said the characters themselves, is that there's that whole, the knights that were attacking the civilians, and it seems like a lot of political intrigue and kingdoms fighting against each other or whatever, some manipulations on the inside, and it seems, I'm curious how things are going to start tying in together, because it seems like, one, he's all of a sudden was in a game, now he's not. You know, he's like he is there. He is living this. This is his world now. You know, and then two, it's like, was he brought here for a specific reason?
Mm-hmm.
Was there something, you know, controlling things behind the scenes for this or whatnot? But either way, it's gonna be really cool. So
Okay, because I'm with all the shows that have kingdoms and stuff like that this season. I can't. So what's happening with the? Because I'm like, I think in this one, didn't they like abandon a kingdom or something? Because I know there was. I can't remember like what the whole fighting stuff was.
well, you don't even really know what the whole thing is. The deal is because basically you've just been following. Like you saw the dudes like, what would they say that one of the dukes had been or starting to become restless or something like that, and then the king sent out his best warriors secretly to try and figure out what's going on, and that's when the dude, you know, came up upon the Overlord and you know, and apparently there's so much going on and so much you just don't know because they're like, they know magicians, they know magic, and apparently when he introduced himself as such, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, okay, you know, all of a sudden it starts making sense to them,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, I just do magic. What's going on? You know, how am I the great dude here? But I'm like, just doing magic. You know, hi. You know, so I'm like, there's some intrigue and some different stuff going on here, and I'm curious to see where that's going to go to.
Okay.
But
So for this show, they haven't really revealed a lot about the kingdoms that are surrounded, right? Because
no,
okay.
they really haven't.
Because I know at the beginning he was like, "Go, hey, dude, go scout around and figure out where we are." And then I guess they're kind of like in this grassland. He's like, cover up our castle so nobody can see it.
Yeah.
And then he just happened to go across that one village that was being attacked.
Well, it's because he's trying, and this is really cool, like how they're doing this, because, you know, even though he has all these powers and all these abilities, he's still trying to figure them out. Because like now he's actually factually using them, and he's still trying to figure out how well they work or how they work. So he saw this whole battle situation going on in the village through a scrying mirror.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so he was like looking around going, oh, okay, this is how I work it. And then they're like, oh, there's a village under attack. And at first he was like, no, I'm not going to help him. And then he kind of justified it in his mind because something clicked in his past, and he knew he needed to help them. And then he justified it in his mind saying, well, I need to figure out how my powers work in an actual battle situation. So let me go over there and see how this does. And the minute he did that, I'm like, ooh, yay, this is going to be good. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that was good. That was some good stuff. So.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, there again, I'm really excited to see where this is heading to, because they just every single time, you know, and especially the fact that everyone in his kingdom, all the minions and everything, they're all demi-human, because that was the one thing. In order to be in his guild when it was an actual game, no humans allowed. You had to be a demi-human. So you had to be some form of monster / human, or just a complete monster to begin with. Okay. So it's like, you know, in that respect, it's like you see all these just monsters, but they're all doing cool stuff, and I'm like, this is awesome. This will work.
All right, and that's been Takoyaki Bites, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.